প্রতিটি ক্ষেত্রে আমাদের এই পার্লামেন্টের যথেষ্ট অবদান রয়েছে। পার্লামেন্টে এটা আমাদের বোধহয় এই আমলের শেষ অধিবেশন, আর সেই অধিবেশনটা শুরু করতেই হলো আবার আমাদের কয়েকজন সংসদ সদস্যের মৃত্যুর সংবাদ দিয়ে। এটা সত্যি খুব দুঃখজনক। তাদের যে অবদান রয়েছে বাংলাদেশের উন্নয়নের ক্ষেত্রে, আমরা আইন প্রণয়ন করি, আমরা তা বাস্তবায়ন করি, মানুষের কল্যাণ হয়। এই মানুষের কল্যাণে তাদের অবদানকে আমরা শ্রদ্ধার সাথে স্মরণ করি এবং তাদের পরিবারের সদস্য এবং আমাদের যারা নেতাকর্মী দীর্ঘদিন এই সংসদ সদস্যদের সাথে কাজ করেছে, তাদের প্রতিও আমার সমবেদনা জানাই। আমি তাদের আত্মার মাগফিরাত কামনা করছি।
Earlier, Parliament members Amir Hossain Amo and Sheikh Fazlul Karim Selim, among others, took part in the discussion. The Jatiya সংসদ also expressed deep shock and condolence over the death of several thousands people and innocent children due to the recent heinous attack by the Israeli occupation forces in Palestine. Later, 1 minute silence was observed and munajat offered, seeking eternal peace of the departed souls. Earlier, at the beginning of the session, a 5-member panel of chairmen for the 25th session of the 11th Jatiya সংসদ was nominated by Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry. The panel members are Abdus Sohid, Dhirendra Debnath Shambhu, Tanvir Shakil Joy, Qazi Firoz Rashid and Nargis Rahman. The panel members will chair the session according to the seniority in absence of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker. The sitting of the House will resume at 4 p.m. tomorrow. The 25th session of the 11th Parliament will continue till November 2nd. The decision was taken at the 15th meeting of the Business Advisory Committee of the 11th Jatiya সংসদ at the Jatiya সংসদ Bhavan today. Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry presided over the meeting. Committee member and leader of the House, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, attended the meeting. Besides, committee members, leaders of the opposition Begum Roshan Ershad, Amir Hossain Amo, Sheikh Fazlul Karim Selim, Rashid Khan Menon, Hassanul Haq Inu, Deputy Speaker Mohammad Shamsul Haq Tuku, Anisul Haq, Anisul Islam Mahmood and Chief Whip Noor Alam Chaudhry attended the meeting. The meeting discussed the allocation of time for the execution of the proceedings of the 25th session of the 11th Jatiya সংসদ and the duration of the session. It was decided in the meeting that the session will start at 4 p.m. every day except Friday and Saturday. If necessary, the Speaker is empowered to make any changes relating to the timing and working day of the session. Senior Secretary of the Parliament Secretariat K.M. Abdus Salam moderated the meeting. Senior officials of the Parliament Secretariat were present. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina asked her party's lawmakers to work for the candidate unitedly who will be given nomination by the party. She also said those who have possibilities to win in the next election will be given party nominations. Nominations will be given to those who have the acceptability and popularity, she said. The Premier said this in the parliamentary party meeting of Bangladeshi Awami League held at the ruling party meeting room in সংসদ Bhavan this evening. She urged all to work together, shunning all intra-party conflicts and ensure party's victory in the next election. Sheikh Hasina, also the leader of the House and president of Awami League, said although BNP is not showing any interest in participating in the upcoming election, it might come in the electoral process at the flag end just to paint it as a controversial one. The Awami League's chief directed the party's MPs to go to their respective constituencies to increase their communications with the mass people. President Mohammad Shahabuddin's health condition is gradually improving following a cardiac bypass surgery at the National University Hospital in Singapore. After visiting the President, Press Secretary Mohammad Joinal Abidin said that President Mohammad Shahabuddin now can move around the cabin in a limited way. The surgery was completed on Wednesday at the National University Hospital under the supervision of eminent cardiac surgeon Professor Kofidis Theodoros. President Mohammad Shahabuddin, along with his wife Dr. Rebecca Sultana, went to Singapore on October 16th for the treatment. The train of national election will start its journey in November. If anyone misses it, will lag behind, said Awami League General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister al-Qadir. He said this at a discussion marking the National Road Safety Day at Osmani Street Auditorium in the capital today.
সংবিধানকে যারা কচু কাটা করেছে তারাই এখন সংবিধান মানে না। কথায় কথায় ফখরুল সাহেব এখন বলে আওয়ামী লীগ নাকি এটা করেছে। আওয়ামী লীগ কি সংশোধনী করেছে সংবিধানে? তত্ত্বাবধায়ক সরকার, উচ্চ আদালতে রায়ে এটা বাতিল হয়েছে। এই সংবিধান নির্বাচন ব্যবস্থা বহাল রেখেই ইলেকশন হবে। পছন্দ কারো না হলে কারো জন্য আটকে থাকবে না। নভেম্বর মাসে নির্বাচনের ট্রেন ছেড়ে দিচ্ছে, মিস করলে আপনারা পিছিয়ে পড়বেন।
Roads and Highways Division Secretary ABM Aminullah Nuri presided over the discussion.
এদেশটাকে এদেশের সংবিধান অনুযায়ী চালাতে হবে, নির্বাচন ব্যবস্থা সংবিধান অনুযায়ী চালাতে হবে। এর বাইরে যারা যাবেন অবরোধ আর দখলের হুমকি দিয়ে সেই খায়েশ পূর্ণ হবে। ঢাকা অবরোধ দখলের নামে আবারও আগুন সন্ত্রাসের হুমকি আসছে। আজকে আমাদের এই অবস্থা থেকে পরিত্রাণ পেতে হলে একজন মানুষ আছে যিনি প্রমাণ করেছেন তিনি আপনাদের, তিনি শেখ হাসিনা।
Ubaidul Qadir said BNP is again issuing threats for arson violence in the name of siege and capturing Dhaka, but such dreams will not come true. Roads and Highways Division Secretary ABM Aminullah Nuri presided over the discussion. It was also addressed by Chairperson of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Road Transport and Bridges Ministry Roshan Ara Mannan, BRTA Chairman Nur Mohammad Mojumdar, Chief of Highway Police Additional IGP AKM Shahabuddin Khan, President of Bangladesh Sorok Poribohon Malik Shomiti Moshiur Rahman Ranga, President of Bangladesh Sorok Poribohon Shomik Federation Shahjahan Khan, and Chairman of Nirapod Sorok Jai Ilyas Kanchon. Earlier, marking the Road Safety Day, a rally was brought out from Doel Chottor of Dhaka University, which paraded different areas including Gulistan Zero Point. Information and Broadcasting Minister and Awami League Joint General Secretary Dr. Hassan Mahmood said Awami League is a party of streets, so on October 28th, streets will remain under the control of Awami League. He said this in response to queries from journalists after uncovering a book of Saifullah Mahmood Dulal titled Bangabandhu Somogro at the Secretariat today.
বিএনপির মহাসমাবেশ, ছোট সমাবেশ, মাঝারি সমাবেশ, বিএনপির হাঁটা কর্মসূচি, দৌড় কর্মসূচি, বসা কর্মসূচি, ভবিষ্যতে হয়তো বা হামাগুড়ি কর্মসূচি, এগুলো আমরা কখনো চাপ অনুভব করি নাই। আমরা রাজপথের দল, আমরা রাজপথে আছি, রাজপথে থাকবো। 28 তারিখও রাজপথ আওয়ামী লীগের দখলে থাকবে ইনশাআল্লাহ।
Referring to the comments of Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir, the Information and Broadcasting Minister said, making tall talks don't go with those who disfavor Bangladesh.
ফখরুল সাহেব আসলে কি বাংলাদেশের স্বপ্ন দেখেছিলেন? আমার প্রথম প্রশ্ন তার কাছে এটি, কারণ তিনি কয়েক মাস আগে বলেছিলেন পাকিস্তানই ভালো ছিল। আমি কারো বাবা নিয়ে কথা বলতে চাই না। তার বাবা পাকিস্তান সমর্থক একজন মানুষ ছিলেন, এটি দিবালোকের মতো সত্য। সত্যকে তো কেউ অস্বীকার করতে পারে না। যারা দেশটাই চায়নি তাদের সন্নিবেশ ঘটিয়ে বিএনপি গঠিত হয়েছিল ক্ষমতার উচ্ছিষ্ট বেরিয়ে। তো মির্জা ফখরুলরা আসলে বাংলাদেশের জন্য কোনো স্বপ্ন দেখেন নাই, সেই কারণেই পাকিস্তান ভালো ছিল এই ধরনের কথা বলতে পারেন। আর যারা স্বপ্নকে বাংলাদেশটা রচনা করে গেছে, জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমান, আমাদের পূর্বসূরি মুক্তিযোদ্ধারা, মুক্তিযুদ্ধের সংগঠকরা, যারা দেশটা রচনা করে গেছে, সেই দেশের চেতনার বেদিমূলে আঘাত হেনেছিল জিয়া রহমান এবং বিএনপি।
Dr. Hassan Mahmood also responded to the allegations of BNP involving Zia Rahman's presence in the biopic of Bangabandhu.
যেগুলো ঐতিহাসিক সত্য সেই ঘটনাগুলোই এখানে উঠে এসেছে। বঙ্গবন্ধুর হত্যাকাণ্ডের সাথে যে জিয়া রহমান যুক্ত ছিল, এটা খুনিরাই দম্ভ করে যখন খুনের দায় স্বীকার করেছিল তখন তারা বলে গেছে, সেই রেকর্ড আছে, আপনারা দেখেছেন, সামাজিক যোগাযোগ মাধ্যমেও আছে। খুনি এবং সাক্ষীরা এই মামলার সাধারণ আদালতে বিচার হয়েছে এবং 12 বছর ধরে বিচার হয়েছে, এক যুগের বেশি সময় ধরে বিচার হয়েছে, এবং সেই খুনি এবং সাক্ষীরা সবাই জিয়া রহমানের সংশ্লিষ্টতার কথা স্বীকার করে গেছে। মামলা শুরু হওয়ার আগে কর্নেল ফারুক রশিদ লন্ডনে একটি টেলিভিশনের সাথে সাক্ষাৎকার দিয়ে খুনের দায় যখন স্বীকার করেছিল, দম্ভ করে বলেছিল, তখনও জিয়া রহমানের সংশ্লিষ্টতার কথা বলে গেছে। ছবিতে সেই বিষয়টা পুরো আসে নাই। বিএনপি যদি বলে থাকে জিয়া রহমান ভাই সঠিকভাবে উপস্থাপন করা হয় নাই, সেটা টু সাম এক্সটেন্ট সঠিক, কারণ উনি যে কি পরিমাণ বঙ্গবন্ধুর খুনের সাথে যুক্ত ছিল ছবিতে এটা পুরো আসে নাই। আমি যদি পরিচালক হতাম আরো একটু বেশি করে দেখাতাম, কারণ ইতিহাসটা জানার প্রয়োজন।
Poet and author Shihab Shahriar was present at the book launching function. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will leave Dhaka for Brussels on October 24th to attend the first Global Gateway Forum of the European Union to be held in Belgium. The Global Gateway Forum will be held in Brussels on October 25th and 26th. Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen said this at a press conference at the Foreign Ministry today. Senior officials of the ministry were present on the occasion. Prime Minister will attend the event at the invitation of European Union President Ursula von der Leyen. Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood, State Minister for Foreign Affairs Shahriar Alam, Prime Minister's Private Industry and Investment Advisor Salman F. Rahman, and high-level delegation will accompany the Prime Minister. During the visit, a number of MOUs are expected to be signed between Bangladesh and the European Union. The Prime Minister will leave Brussels for Dhaka on the 26th. Moving on to international news. Israel's overnight air raids have killed at least 55 people and destroyed 30 homes in Gaza, authorities in the besieged enclave said, marking an escalation in Israel's air campaign in advance of an expected ground invasion. Israeli air raids have damaged or destroyed 40% of Gaza's housing, according to the United Nations, reducing much of the enclave to ruins. Palestinians report receiving new warnings from Israel's military to move to the south of the Gaza Strip. Israel says it struck a mosque in Jenin refugee camp in the occupied West Bank, with Palestinian medics reporting at least one person killed. Casualties were also reported along the Israel-Lebanon border on Saturday as the army traded fire with the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah amid fears of a new front opening as Israel battles Hamas. In South Lebanon, Hezbollah said 4 of its fighters were killed. Palestinian group Islamic Jihad said one of its fighters was also killed. Israeli strikes knocked out war-torn Syria's 2 main airports, state media reported, citing a military source with the transport ministry saying flights were rerouted to Latakia. Reports say the U.S. is sending air defense system to the Middle East region, the Pentagon said. At least 4,385 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli attacks on Gaza since the Hamas attack inside Israel, which killed more than 1,400 people. 6 people were killed and at least 14 injured when Russian missiles hit a postal distribution center in Ukraine's northeastern city of Kharkiv, Ukrainian officials have said. President Volodymyr Zelensky said in a post on the Telegram messaging app that the strike on Saturday hit an ordinary civilian site. Victims of the attack are being treated for shrapnel injuries and 7 are in serious condition and fighting for their lives, Regional Governor Oleh Sivnevov said. Kharkiv is Ukraine's second largest city and just 30 kilometers from the Russian border. The city was the site of heavy bombing by Russia in February 2022 in the early days of the Russian full-scale invasion. Australia's Prime Minister will visit China in early November to meet President Xi Jinping, Canberra confirmed Sunday, as the two trading partners work to repair a once frosty relationship. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese locked in the trip from November 4th to November 7th after China agreed to review hefty tariffs on Australian wine, which had sparked a festering World Trade Organization (WTO) dispute. It also follows the release of Australian journalist Cheng Lei, deported from China earlier this month after being detained for 3 years on espionage charges widely seen as politically motivated. The widely anticipated trip would be the first to China by an Australian Prime Minister since 2016. Now some other international news in brief. Thousands of people have rallied in the Malaysian capital to express solidarity with Palestinians amid Israel's ongoing bombardment of Gaza. Similar protests were also held in cities of many other countries. Nawaz Sharif, Pakistan's thrice-elected former Prime Minister, has returned home after 4 years of self-exile in the United Kingdom to stand in the next year's election against his biggest rival, former Premier Imran Khan. The Philippines has accused China's Coast Guard of colliding with a Filipino supply boat in the South China Sea. However, China said the Philippines deliberately stirred up trouble. Hurricane Norma slammed into Mexico's northwestern coast Saturday afternoon as a Category 1 storm, bringing dangerous rain and flooding, authorities said. An extreme drought in parts of the Amazon has led to a dramatic drop in river water levels, exposing dozens of usually submerged rock formations with carvings of human forms that may date back some 2,000 years. State Minister for Disaster Management and Relief, Dr. Mohammad Enamur Rahman, said the government is implementing various programs to reduce disaster risk by establishing good governance in disaster management. The State Minister said this at a meeting with a delegation led by South Sudan's Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disasters Management, Albino Akol Adagmayom, at the Secretariat today. The minister said one of the main goals of the government is to ensure sustainable development by taking timely and coordinated disaster risk reduction and preparedness measures to deal with the risk of natural and man-made disasters. Moving away from the concept of post-disaster relief and rehabilitation activities, the government is working in a paradigm shift to prepare for disasters, disaster protection, and post-disaster reconstruction, the minister added. The Edward M. Kennedy EMK Center has been inaugurated by the U.S. Embassy in Dhaka to enhance the intellectual and knowledge-based engagement of Bangladesh youth. U.S. Ambassador to Bangladesh Peter Haas inaugurated the EMK Center. Public Diplomacy Counselor at the U.S. Embassy Stephen Ebeli, among others, along with students from different universities and embassy officials, were present on the occasion. Later, the U.S. ambassador visited modern multimedia content, online databases, modern recording studios, and 3D studios with AR/VR technology. Dengue situation is still a threat to the public health as 9 died during the last 24 hours in the country. A press release of the Director General of Health Services said among the dead, 2 were in Dhaka and 7 were outside of Dhaka. 2,056 dengue patients were admitted to different hospitals across the country during the last 24 hours. Among them, 500 dengue patients were hospitalized in Dhaka city and 1,556 patients outside of Dhaka. Now news and weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said light to moderate rain or thunder showers accompanied by temporary gusty wind is likely to occur at many places over Khulna, Borishal and Chattogram divisions, at a few places over Dhaka, Mymensingh and Sylhet divisions, and at one or two places elsewhere over the country, with moderately to heavy falls at places over southern parts of Bangladesh. Day temperature may fall slightly and night temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the country. Maritime ports of Chattogram, Cox's Bazar, Mongla and Paira have been advised to keep hoisted distant cautionary signal number 1, remaining signal number 1. Now news on sports. India are now batting against New Zealand to chase the victory target of 274 runs in the World Cup in Dharamshala. India scored 225 runs per 5 wickets in 40 overs when report last came in. Earlier batting first after losing the toss, New Zealand were all out for 273 in the stipulated 50 overs. Daryl Mitchell scored 130 of 127 balls and Rachin Ravindra scored 75 runs for the team. Mohammad Shami took 5 wickets for India. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Awami League will always remain beside Hindu community like in the past, says Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina.
আমাদের সকল ধর্মে সকলেই আমরা একসাথে এই মাতৃভূমির জন্য আমরা কাজ করব আর এই দেশ সকলেরই আপনারা কখনো নিজেদেরকে ছোট মনে করবেন না
Kumari Puja observed on the Mahashtami of Durga Puja today with devotees thronging in the temples. সংসদ adopts condolence motion over deaths of members of parliament and distinguished people as 25th session of 11 Jatiya সংসদ begins. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to visit Belgium on October 24th to participate in the first Global Gateway Forum of European Union. Train of national election will start its journey in November. Anyone who misses it will lag behind, says Obaidul Qadir. Streets will remain under the control of Awami League on October 28th as it is a party of streets, says Dr. Hassan Mahmood. Israel strengthens Gaza attack, killing at least 55 Palestinians in an overnight raid. And India batting with victory target of 274 runs against New Zealand in ODI Cricket World Cup in Dharamshala. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us and we request